Hey, there we are. What is up? Yes. Welcome to the Gospel with Two Wheels. We got the Woody and Morgan show back. We're going to try to do this once a month. Get Woody on here. Hopefully we'll get him back in the house here soon and riding dirt bikes up here.
I have to ask, where's your big old microphone? I thought you were supposed to compete with my there it is.
It's right here.
Nice. Are you using it? Is that hooked up? Nice,
no, it's hooked up. Does it sound? Do I sound okay?
Oh yeah, you sound phenomenal. I was like, bro, I thought somebody sent you that so that we could compete with these phenomenal pieces of equipment shoved into our face holes.
I just need a thing to hold. Is this how we do?
I sent you links, buddy. That's all on you. I know.
Man. Yeah, but if you looked around here, there's nothing up to.
There's a piece of wood to viewers' right that you can attach it to.
What I need is a little Asian person to hold it.
Just stand there and hold it. You have two children. That's what children are for. Stand, hold.
They suck. All right, first of all, let's say hey to everybody. Chris Kinberg, Bruce Kennedy, Chris Burns. Let's see, Two-Stroke Addict coming in from Australia. My mom. Hi, Mama. Kim Jackson, what is happening? You live in the Great White North, Kim. She lives in Wyoming, and there's still like knee-high craziness. It's nuts.
That's what we're going to have to talk about, the Donner getting pushed back because of so much snow. I mean, it sounds like there are so many places with tons of snow, man. Insane, right?
Yeah, so they have they just went over Tahoe, Big Bear, or whatever area, just went over 800 inches, which is 66 feet of snow. 66 feet.
That's
now,
a lot. That's a lot.
On the ground, 66 feet, but it's 30-something feet, like, stacked up. It's crazy. It's absolutely out of hand. Paul Anstey,
how nuts is that a race like 4 months from now or 3 months from now is canceled because they're like, yeah, there's going to be too much snow left.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. So we're going to Kellogg. You should come to Kellogg.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the next one. It's the weekend after, and it's the Silver Kings. I don't know. Anyway,
okay. Well, hello everybody. Bruce Kennedy, go get some seat time. That's what I'm talking about.
Tim Simmons, what is up, man? I haven't talked to you in forever. We need to go ride dirt bikes. Beverly Boys coming in from Canada. Roger Hurd, no snow in Prescott, which is good. Oh, Jimmy Neihart. Is this where they hand out pronouns and free hugs? Yes.
And I will free hug anybody, okay? But
dude.
I get called names all the time, and whichever one you choose to call me, that's pretty much what I'm going to respond to. So
yeah, and I'm giving out hugs. My hugs actually, I will pay you to let me hug you. It's not.
I will not. I'm going to cherish every dollar that I have. But if Morgan wants to hug me a lot, I will take all the money that he wants to pay me to be able to give me a hug.
Yes. Oh, welcome everybody to the Gospel Two Wheels, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. It is awesome to see you guys all here. I have some questions from the internet, Woody. So we're going to start.
I saw that. Those. I think Instagram had some and all the things.
And Facebook. And we're live here, Facebook and YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. But not Paul, not Tolson. I'm guessing this is Paul Tolson. I picked up a used pipe for my KDX. Am I required to hold it to my mouth and make motor noises, or does that only apply to new pipes?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Dude, every single pipe that you take off your motorcycle, you need to treat it like it's a free cola video ad and just like, you have to blow through it. But just remember, if it's used, you're probably going to walk away with a weird ring on your mouth. So don't go straight to a family gathering or to church. Like, you want to make sure that you clean yourself afterwards.
Yes, yeah, I agree 100%. It's a necessity. I mean, I have pipes laying all over the place. Leandra and Zach get quite tired of me making noises. Oh, man. Robert Boucher, it's good to see you, man. Teddy Roosevelt, how are you? You guys are awesome. So now we're going to Instagram. The other one was Garrett Anderson just yelling Woody. So, Woody! I don't know if Garrett should be here. He's usually on here.
Right. Dropping that kid off.
Yeah, dropping the hatch.
Probably a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah. Phil Beto, I think, asks, what do you use for elbow and chest protection? And then how's the Formula helmet? So the fly formula helmet is by far, like far and away, the best helmet I've ever worn. And actually, quick note, I got dropped from the Climb athlete deal, I think, because I didn't buy a Climb helmet. They gave me this deal, and it's just a discount. It's not like it's not like a super sponsored deal. And I was super excited, and so I ordered some stuff, and then I just found out that they dropped me from the thing, and they won't even tell me why. It's the only thing I can imagine is because I bought a fly helmet,
Right.
because I like the fly helmet, and I'm not gonna change because I think it's safe and I think it's better. And yeah, they just dropped me. I asked, I'm like, well, what did I do so I can maybe not make that mistake in the future? Like I'm just trying to learn here. I've never had to deal with a clothing company, and like total ghosted. So not real happy with Climb right now. I love their gear, but not very happy with how they handled that.
That is a story that I keep hearing over and over again from true friends in the industry, that there is zero communication, and it's horrible because no one's allowed to learn. Like, we
Right.
just have this expectation that we're supposed to be okay with you feeling butthurt, but not actually like communicating what it was so that we can all grow and move forward. And if we keep acting like that, it's no wonder that a lot of people are going to keep considering this some blue collar sport, and that supercross, motocross, and things like that can't be taken more serious. It's very strange.
I know.
But you're not the only one that I've heard. And that's it, not clothing deals. It's not stuff, even just on the professional level of people that have been contractors, that they've just been like, it's just zero communication. Like, and all of a sudden stuff. I've even had a situation like that. It was on a much lighter scale. And that's such a bad place to put yourself as a professional organization.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I like the guy I was talking to, because the way I didn't even. So here's the thing: they didn't even send me a thing saying I was dropped. I just wanted to order another set of gloves and some goggles to try, because I'd never tried their goggles. I usually run 100% or Liets. I was like, that'd be kind of cool for the channel. Blah blah blah. Give some information out to people. And so I asked for a discount code, and I get this. All I get is, oh, sorry. If you look back in the emails, you should see that we're not going forward with you. I'm like, well, I don't see that in any emails.
Right.
And I'm like, and he's like, oh, by the way, it's not my call. It's from up on high. I'm like, okay, well, what did I do? And then my email was basically, okay, I'm super bummed, but okay, nothing I can do about that. What did I do? How can I learn from this so that I don't make that mistake in the future? And that was it. Like, no response, no nothing. I'm like, really? I'm just asking. Like, I'm not going to. So now I'm going to say something about it. Like, I wasn't going to say anything about it. I was just going to be like, whatever. I still like their gear. Anyway, it super, super pissed me off, to be honest. Like, you can't just communicate with me and tell me, hey, Morgan, because I guess the only thing I can think is, hey, Morgan, if you're going to be our athlete, you got to run our helmet too.
All the gear. Oh, okay, cool. Like, got it.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I might have still had a little question, because I seriously believe the Fly is a better helmet, and I'm just going to put what is the best on my head, period. And I had to pay for the Fly. They didn't give me the Fly. Like, it's not like... And that's the other thing about Climb's deal. It's just a deep discount. It's not like... I mean, for me, they weren't giving me anything. Like, so... Right. If you're not giving it to me, then I'm definitely not forced to wear it. like that... So anyway, this is kind of...
Well, yeah, we don't need to be super negative in the long run. Biggest thing to take away is, remember, communicate. Just have communication. That's it. Good communication.
The takeaway. But back to the actual question. What do you wear for chest and elbow protection, Woody? We'll start with you.
So I have started wearing more than just roost deflectors for a very long time. I only wore roost deflectors kind of like underneath my jersey, because it's like I wanted to look slim and fast. And as I did a little bit more research, I'm currently researching a video. I realized that there's levels to the actual protection that goes into this. And Steve Mathis did a podcast with the guy that invented the original like chest protector that had the collarbone protection. And so there's that weird little net that you would see on chest protectors underneath the actual plastic. And that is built-in give. So there's about 1 inch to 2 inches that net, you know what I mean? And so I've realized it's like, oh, okay, like it doesn't just look goofy. It's built, you know what I mean? So I believe it's like a C1, C2, and C3 are the levels of actual impact protection you can get. So I've started wearing one of the C1s from Liat. And I can't remember the exact model. And then I've been looking at, because I have nicked my elbows a couple more times, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna chip a bone sometime soon now that I'm in my 40s. So I'm gonna get some of the light elbow protection from EVS. I'm gonna look at those. Now they've got like, again, like a 1, a 2, a 3 in how much protection. So I'm just gonna get some of the soft protection from EVS for my elbows.
Nice. I don't wear any of that, and I probably should, but like my when I trail ride, I don't wear anything. When I race, I wear an A Stars, same kind of thing. Like it's a roost. It doesn't have the shoulder pads. It's a roost deflector. They've got the same sort of deal with different levels of protection. It's not quite as scientific or as I don't know, it's not as easy to determine as the Liat stuff. Like the Liat stuff is very easy to determine, like which one you want, like the amount of protection. I think they do a very good job of that. The A Stars one is less, but it fits really well, and I just wear it when I'm racing. I still don't wear elbow guards because they still slide down onto my arms and my wrists, and I don't know, it drives me nuts. So I don't wear them. I will probably chip a bone and then wish I was more like Woody.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Easy Enduro. So don't wear elbow guards because they give them arm pump. I think that's interesting.
A lot of
there's a lot of different types out there because, sometimes they're just going to have the Velcro straps and then the other ones are going to have the sleeves. And what sucks is two different things happen. One, a lot of the materials, when we sweat, get into that material and expand the material. But then also, we also expand, right? Like we get a little bit bigger as we inflame, and be on the bike and all of our muscles and stuff like that. But I think that material expands more than we do, and so that's kind of one of the things that happens with all that sweat that gets in there. So I think that's probably not a good, but if it's so tight that it's giving you arm pump, it's like find something else.
I think that's why a lot of guys run like, well, at least I tried it. I couldn't do it, but like the full suit, because then the elbow guard isn't like strapped around tight because it's held in place by the whole arm. So it's not, you don't have to have like these straps holding it tight to keep it in place. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Everybody's got their own thing and they like their own deal. I'd say, like, to answer that question is I don't wear any. I probably should, but I don't. Woody wears what he does. The best thing you can do is if you can find a place in the world that has stuff to try on, try it all on and find the one that fits the best, especially with your helmet. Like, you need to get your helmet on because like some of that stuff will come up too high and like make your helmet not move. It's just the best thing you can do is just try it all on. And real quick, Kelsey is asking, he can't see the live chat on Facebook. Kelsey, it says sent with stars or something like that. Just click on that and go to all comments and you should be able to see everything.
Weird. I will say, like, one thing is tough is that, like, I want Liam to wear protection. Like, he's tried to not wear knee guards. He's tried to not wear his chest protector, stuff like that. And so as the father setting the example, like, I'm like, I can't be telling him to wear a chest protector if I'm not going to wear one. Right. And so that was part of me. Like, when I was looking into the levels, I think his has that C2 level. Again, I'm not doing the research still, but it's like, if I'm going to ask him to do that, like, it's not what is it? It's the preach only what I already practice kind of a thing. Don't practice what you preach, because then you can lie to somebody. But if I practice only what I've already you know what I mean? Like, so it's preach only what you've already practiced. It's a little bit easier for me to be out there telling my son how to be safe if I'm doing the same.
I'm terrible because my kids just don't wear that much gear. Like they should, especially you. And we all wear it when we race because, like I said, when we go racing, I put mine on. I get, try to get everything on, and it's definitely a thing that I probably should work on. At least try to find something that works. Because the other thing is a chest protector with the wolf vest is cumbersome. Like it just, I haven't found one that works. So maybe someone could comment like if they've got to wear a big vest and then also some sort of chest protector, because I cannot find anything that works.
You know what you could look at is, I noticed, again, looking at the EVS stuff, they've got like undershirts that have like some built-in padding. So maybe that's a way to go that could work underneath that. And again, if you want to play in that area, right?
Sure.
But it'd definitely be good for the channel in the sense of like being able to review other products. Because again, like in that level of like, they've got something that's like light protection to all the way to heavy protection built into a short sleeve shirt and then a no sleeved shirt. you could try that, and then I bet the vest would still work really well.
Yeah. Lots of people talking about the TP199 elbow and knee pads, and I've heard very good things about those also. But again, let's just quick talk about knee protection. I wear Mobius knee braces. Have from I don't know, it's been 6-8 years. I love them. They're not like a medical knee brace like a CTI or something like that that's fitted to your leg perfectly and really, really there to hold your knee in place. It's more of a preventative knee brace. It's not like if you've got bad knees and you've got stuff that needs help, they're not the best. But if you've got good knees, which I do, and you want to keep them good, I've found that the Mobius are really, really good and very protective from impact. So.
Yeah, I've been running the Liat X frames for about a year and a half. I wore, they've been through both Shady Burrows, and so they've been great. If anybody's looking for, and I do feel that they're semi-narrow in the sense of like pinching the bike. I did see something, Todd York, when is a chest protector actually saved you from injury? I've broken ribs wearing one. The problem is, it's like, but how bad could that injury have been if you weren't wearing the chest protector? Could that have been internal bleeding that you wouldn't have had otherwise? And so that's the tough situation with a mindset like that. It's like, we know that we're putting the gear on to prevent as much of a injury as possible, right? Dirt bikes are inherently dangerous. And so if we take a mindset of like, well, I'm just going to get hurt regardless of wearing protection, then it's like, well, yeah, but there's the better chance of you not being with us is a lot higher.
Right.
So it's like, if you want to be able to like go to work, do the things and still enjoy your sport, it's better to come at a mindset. It's like, how can I better protect myself for the future? And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. All right. Another last question here from the internet. Donovan asks, when you get a new bike, what are the first things you have to do before a ride besides adding protection parts? I'll joke.
Well, you've got, my bike's 5 years old, so it's been a while since I've done that. So why don't you hit this one up? The sure can't, baby.
The sure can't is all done. So for me, it's set sag. You know what? I'd like, someone was just asking me, he's got a brand new beta and was asking me clicker settings for some issues that he was having. And I said, well, where is it now? And he's like, I don't know, stock. And I said, well, you should check because humans put those things together and humans set those clickers. And I've had brand new gear have the clickers run all the way in or run all the way out just because they didn't get, they just got forgotten in the process of building the bike. So I like to check those, make sure they are where the book says they should be, and then, tire pressure. And there's Garrett coming in with the sure can't. Tire pressure and then go ride the thing. I don't like to do too much. I just want to make sure things are safe. So like nuts and bolts, I guess, touch, because theoretically your dealer did that, but dealers these days, not all of them are good. Ours, Davis Service Center, is very good. They hire people specifically to build bikes. They do a great job. I've been personally nothing but happy with the bikes that I've been delivered. So they do a good job, but not everyone does. And so I just, go around with a wrench or a ratchet and just hit everything, make sure everything's tight. Like I said, check your tire pressure, make sure there's not 40 pounds in there, because a lot of times they'll do that in the crate just to make sure they stay up. Set the sag and then go ride. That would be the best thing to do. So
yeah,
I'm
a protection junkie just because like I fall, period. Same thing. Maybe it's the same mindset maybe with the protection on the body. I just know that I'm going to crash. And so before I really go out there and ride, I really want to try to get as much protection in the places that I think it's important. And you've covered all of these, right? The rotor protection, the guard protection for the linkage, maybe a better skid plate that's going to come in stock, hand guards, or at least ends on the end, stuff like that. And now that you guys have now that I've documented the process of realizing that I'm horrible at maintenance, I know that the first dirt bike I get, I'm going to strip it down and I'm going to re-grease everything. And I'm going to pay attention to how it comes stock, because I keep hearing stories about what you're talking about. And then me being such bad at maintenance, it's like, I'd much rather dig in at the beginning when the bikes should be 100%. It's like, okay, this is this is the level that I should try to get it back to every time I truly work on it. So we'll see where that takes me.
Yeah, and Bruce actually had a great point, and I forgot I should have mentioned it. Is the air filters rarely get good maintenance, and the thing is that a lot of them probably get decent oil on them from the factory, but then they sit in a boat. You got to realize when they build these things long before they show up on your dealer's floor. They build them. I mean, it could be 6-8 months before it ever gets to the United States, and then it like comes on a boat, and then it sits, in port or whatever, and so things dry out. So actually, air filter is a big one. I'm sorry about that. I should have mentioned that, but that's a very, very important. You can blow up a bike on your first day. And as far as like for me, I'm looking at it as first ride. Like I'm too impatient, honestly, to just tear them down without riding them at all. So I'll go ride the thing at least one or two
People
times.
like us being impatient? Come on, what are you talking about?
I know. And I'll tear the thing down when the first weekend or evening I have and grease everything, because nothing has enough grease on it, in my opinion. Paul Anstey, radiator braces. Yeah, and he said besides the protective stuff. So, I think we all know that, protecting your bike from yourself is a good idea.
That's the best way. Like, that's probably the best way to put it. Like, honestly,
protect the bike from the idiot riding it, and it'll be because
the nut that connects the handlebar to the seat.
Yeah, if it weren't for us, the bikes would never get hurt. They would be totally fine.
It wouldn't matter what oil was in the air filter or what oil grease was used on the bearings, because they would just hang out on a showroom floor. For instance,
my son Ewan, that's his 125 that's locked up. So, and if it weren't for him, that wouldn't have happened. It wasn't.
I love how it looked like a little nugget of weed.
Oh, that was actually a different 125, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was another YZ 125 that blew up. There's two blown up ones in this shop.
Montrose, Colorado, just killing bikes.
The other one, I think, I don't know. We'll see. It looks like maybe they didn't put oil in the gas, and then they put oil in the gas when they brought it in, because the tank was full and had plenty of oil in it, but like the thing was locked up and it was bad. So who knows? But Ewan's was probably just time, and the fact that the seal was in backwards, which doesn't help. It's not the end of the world if the crank seal is in backwards, but it's not good. And then the fact that he's getting fast and just holding that thing wide, and so it's time for a crank. Big deal.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
I can't wait I'm hoping that it would be awesome this summer if I do get to come up there and drive up there with the Sherco to like buy all the parts so we could do the bottom end. Now, obviously we'd redo the top end and stuff like that. And it probably wouldn't be time to do the top end by any means since I did it, you know what I mean? But I've never done a full blown bottom end rebuild. And I would love to have that done under the watchful eye of somebody actually knows what they're doing. And has the proper tools and stuff. So I'm hoping that happens this summer, that we can come up there and because that's like right now, like that's the last thing on the Sherco that hasn't been touched. Like I've
let's do it.
Essentially rebuilt everything else at this point.
Yeah, I think that'd be actually a lot of fun. Kim, what Thomas is riding a YZ250, although I changed the gearing on it. It's a long story. I put a little bit bigger rear sprocket on it. Because he was like, man, this is kind of tough in the rocks. And I'm like, yeah. And it had like 1448 or 1450. Anyway, I was like, yeah, let's just gear it down a fuzz. Cause he likes to go fast. I knew he didn't want to gear it down too much. Well, I put the rear sprocket on, put the wheel on, and the front, the chain was too short. I'm like, son of a. So I put a 13 on the front to make up I was like, I don't want to buy a chain right now. Whatever, kid will be fine. Well, he rode it. He's like, Dad, this thing sucks. It's too slow. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like I did change, and I didn't tell him I was doing all this. So like, he's not an ungrateful kid. He's like, I like it. It's nice, but Dad, I like as fast as it was. I'm like, I get it. So recently he's been riding my 300, my old 300, and it's awesome, except for that he really likes it. He's like, Dad, this thing is sweet. And then I see him, just a million miles an hour. I'm like, yeah, it is really sweet. So
it was
really sweet.
You get to work on it now too, because you're riding it.
Yeah. So I've got his bike dialed back in. I got a chain and we got it all fixed up. So he's going to be back on that tonight. By the way, Thursday night ride is happening, everybody. Peach Valley, 5:15, 5:30. We're going riding. And Ewan, because his bike is not back together, will be riding my 300. So that's going to be interesting. Put that child on a...
I don't know if dude, video that. Like, don't video you, video him. Like,
oh,
get
no,
behind,
don't worry.
Like,
I will be filming the tiny, ridiculous child on the 300.
I love it. What was somebody's leave the Sherco at home, Bruce Kennedy. I'm like, Bruce, like, come on. If I do that, we won't have any more maintenance content to put on the Seattime channel.
There'll be no content. Let's see. David Barbercheck, Moose Balls. How many more tires do you confidently feel they will go? I am expecting, when I use the extra 2 balls that they sent me and all that, I'm expecting, I bet I get 6 rear tires out of that thing, which would be crazy. That's more than double that's about double what I would get out of a Nitro Moose. And I like the feel. I was just talking to a really fast kid who was in here yesterday. He races hare and hound stuff, and I think we're going to get him on some Moose Balls because, he runs Nitro Moose, which thank you, Nitro Moose, for all your support. But, he won big, long hare and hound and some practice riding, and it's pretty worn out. He's, like I say, he's fast. Like, this is not a putt, old guy A class. This is like a top 10 guy. And he's like having to put tubes around it already and all that stuff. So I think I think the Moose Balls are, I can say, probably 100% longer. So double the amount of tires. They're amazing.
I have 2 questions for you. That one, back to the sprocket thing, just to clarify. If you go down a tooth in the front, that is like going up 3 teeth in the rear. Is that a good ratio to think about? Or like, how would one...
3 to 4. I mean...
So it's a massive jump.
It's a huge... 1 tooth in the front is a massive jump. So that's why I went up 2 in the back, because I knew that would be a no... Because 1... in the back is like, it's kind of almost hard to tell unless you're super in tune with the bike. Like, it's a change. You'll notice it, but it's not big. So I went 2 because I wanted to see him feel something. And then, like, real difference. But then going also down 1 in the front was that was like a full gear shift, like a complete...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so you went up in the rear and down in the front, so he was like 5 teeth different. It was just like, Dad, what in the...
he was pissed.
Okay, second question. I have been talking... A lot of people have been asking me about mooses more, right? And I am educated, but I by no means have like a lifetime of using them, right? It's only been like the past 5 years that I've been using them a lot more. And I started using tire soap just like everybody else. The more and more that I get away from tire soap and the more I leverage the lube that comes with either the Michelin's, the Nitro Moose, any of those kinds of things, I notice the longer my bibs last. And so my assumption is that it's because tire soap is just that. It's soap. It's very good for mounting the tire because of what it's doing, but it doesn't last in there because it evaporates, right? And where that lube that comes with them doesn't do that. And so that's why, like, if you were to use Murphy's Tire Soap or a similar, that if you're not changing your bib mousse every month, like, you should be using... Like Crisco might be better like for a lubricant than the tire soap. And I wanted to know, like, as we start to wrap this up, like, what's your thoughts there from what you've seen with so much bibs in and out and now the Moose Balls and stuff?
Yeah, I definitely, because I've been a Murphy's guy forever, especially on my stuff. And I definitely feel the same way. I feel like if you use this, it's silicon-based lube, right? So that's what all the lube is. It's some silicon-based stuff. So I feel like they last definitely longer, and you can use less of it. Like, the nice thing about the Murphys is you can grab a handful of stuff and jam it in there. And if you change tires as often as I change tires, and you're re-lubing that often, they stay nice and greasy and happy and good. Like you said, though, the problem is that a lot of people aren't changing tires that often, right? So maybe 1 or 2 tires a season, and that soap goes away if you do that. Like if that's all you're changing, the soap will go away and won't come out greasy. And so yeah, I think the lube is the way to go. And actually, kind of not a spoiler alert, but the boys at Mr. Wolf are sending me a tub, because the problem is that stuff is expensive. You buy 1 tube, it's very expensive, and it's like, I mean, of course, the whole freaking industry is expensive, so kind of get over it, right? But but again, if you're changing tires as often as I am, it's like, man, that adds up. So it's kind of annoying. But he's working on James Richards at Intech. Actually, he's not with Mr. Wolf, but they're the distributor for Mr. Wolf. He's bringing in these tubs, and he's sending me some to try. And it's not available for purchase yet, but we're going to try it. So hopefully you can buy it in bulk, which would be really cool. Trevor Novin's Dry Creek was awesome. Woody, I know you've got to go, right?
Yeah, I'm glad that we can still keep doing some Morgan and Woody shows. I feel that like our enthusiasm and stoke for this sport is high, and I hope that that's what we can continue to do, is just keep getting people on the dirt bikes, as you like to say, right? And yeah. It's been awesome to see some of your followers come over and hit the Seattime channel and not crap on me for all of my learnings, because that's where I'm at, right? Like you can tell the poor maintenance that has happened. Let's just call a spade, right? But that's where it's like, now I realize I have to take a couple steps back and I have to be better. Like, I want to keep riding. I can't afford a new bike. And so I need to take better care of the one that I'm on. So it's been really cool to have a lot of your followers come over, and especially Bruce. Bruce has always got good comments to leave on my videos. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But the one thing that I'm noticing is, as I put out more information and content around nutrition, that people have a lot of questions. And so I put out a video, 5 pro tips for race day nutrition, super clickbaity title, but in the long run, there really are, like, I feel, great information in there. So if anybody has any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns about nutrition, like, I want to help you. You know what I mean? So either go find that content or just DM, message, whatever, because I want to put more of that type of content out there. And so again, like, Seattime, we want to keep people stoked on 2 wheels. Like, that's the whole concept, right? So I appreciate you continuing to give me a platform to share that stoke, man, for sure.
And we need more of you up in Colorado also.
Well, I know. You have no idea how much I want that to happen.
We got to figure that out, and we'll talk to Sam at Grit Motorsports. He's on here with the rentals, and see.
Yeah,
we don't even need rentals. I mean, we can help Sam out too, but I have lots of motorcycles, and Zach will be receiving his new XCW, but then going off to the National Guard for who knows how long. So that thing's just going to sit here needing someone to ride it. And I mean, I'm going to ride it, but someone like Woody might need to come up and ride that thing.
I love it. Well, I got to drop because I got to go. I got my button-up shirt, so I gotta jump into another call for work. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you guys, 1, allowing me to be here, and 2, paying attention. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Morgan.
Right on. Woody, you take care. We're going to stay live here for a little bit, guys. Do it. So, Woody, I love you. We'll talk to you very soon.
Bye. Thank you again.
What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's see. Trail Nerds. I saw some questions we're going to try to answer, and then I do have to go because I got to move bikes around, so my kids have bikes to ride this afternoon. Any idea why my battery died while riding? It died towards the end of a 28-mile loop at the Snake Bite. Matt, which bike are you on? Are you on a new KTM? I can't remember. I know you're not on the beta anymore, Matt, so let me know. It could be if your fan was drawing and maybe you had like a GPS and all that stuff, but let me know what you're running. And dude named Eric, Woody does rule. And thank you all that have come from his channel over here. I very much appreciate it. It's awesome. Cycle Farm, I do need to come ride in Durhamtown, Georgia, and back east. I need to figure that out. We're doing our Ride the World this year. I think I'm just going to do once a year right now until this YouTube channel blows up to the point that I make enough money to travel more. But that's coming. It's coming. We're growing, and thank you all so much for that. But this year we're Pacific Northwest. Maybe next year we'll go east. 300 XCW Trail Nerds. So the reason that would die, I would look at all your connections. Make sure you don't have any weird shorts going on. I know it's a new bike, so it shouldn't have anything, but things happen, especially in your hard enduro world. And then because that bike should have plenty of juice to run a fan in like something like a hard enduro. But I would check. Yeah, fan shuts off with the bike. Okay, good. I would, like, when we have problems like that in the shop, I start looking at anything that was added to the bike, and then like checking for amp draws on that. If I can't find anything there, then I look for all the connections and see if like there's something that's not making connection. Also check and make sure your all the stator, it would be weird, but make sure your stator's producing. Like, make sure you don't have a short in the stator. I mean, it's a new bike, but things happen. Keith McQueen wrote a 300 TM. Nice. I want to ride a new, brand new TM. Matt Simpson, what's your Matt, I wish I had a for sure answer, but it sounds like you're just gonna have to do a bunch of checking on stuff. But I would check connections from stator to regular rectifier. Check the regular rectifier also. That's an easy one to go bad. Unfortunately these days it's probably made in China from KTM, and hopefully it's not, but it could be. Make sure it didn't go south. Okay. Sorry, my wife just texted me. Break-in process, new top end, Matt Simpson. Honestly, not a lot. Because if it's just a new top end, the cylinders are all nickel plated. The rings are all super hard. There's really nothing that's that big of a deal to, like, you don't really need to break much in. So the main thing I do is go out, ride it, get it all the way up to temperature once and make sure there's no leaks, nothing going on, and then just go ride it. Found my issue 12-hour 300XC. Appears to got, the mud in the tank. Yeah. So yeah, it can happen. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't. Chris Burns, do you think tubeless will be good for my type of riding here in New York? Just off-road, mild enduro. Chris Burns, yeah, it will work great. You'll be able to get really good traction with it. You just have to deal with the fact that you got two pressures to check at each wheel, and that drives me nuts. No way, Roger Hurd, you're moving to Colorado. I just saw that. That freaking makes me super, super excited. Let's talk about that later. Big Chuck, we need to figure out workouts for off day. One thing, the best thing for me personally is riding my bicycle. So get on a day off. MX carb with wood setup is an animal. That's cool, Keith McQueen. Yeah, there you go. Matt, right? Like you stole it. Jeremy shooting. Absolutely. All right, guys. I had better boogie because I got to jostle some bikes around. I got to get bikes home so my kids have things to ride from the house out to Peach Valley for Thursday night ride. And then I got to get my bike down here so I have something to put in my van and go out there. Guys, Punk Rock Club, I love you guys the very, very most. Matt and Driss, I'd love to know what you find, so please stay in touch because I'm just trying to build the knowledge. So anyway, I thought about that. Punk Rock Club, I love you more than everyone else. I hope you guys all are getting out and spreading the gospel of two wheels. We need more dirt bikers in the world because dirt bikers are better people, and that would make the world a better place. I love you all so much. I hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on, but way more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!